next segment of our day with an artist talk from Jaka, and I'm sure that I will absolutely butcher your last name, Jaka, if I attempt it. So I'm not familiar with Slovenian pronunciation, so I apologize.
It's fine, don't worry, I'll do it.
Great. So Jaka is going to be talking about private property access forbidden. So take it away.
Yeah, well, thank you. Okay, just have a few words and then I'll get to the work itself. So I already made a brief introduction of myself when we were starting the Unconference. So I'll be just brief, maybe if there is somebody who was not at the first session. What to say? Yes, my background is web development. So I do actually program and code my own works, and I really like to work in this way because it's turned out that it's sort of like iteration between idea and then implementation, like they influence each other in a very profound way. So I really like to work in that matter. It's way different than just like working with a programmer. But okay, anyhow, I'm currently working in Museum of Modern Art in Ljubljana, Slovenia, where I'm mostly engaged with digitalization, which means figuring out ways of how to store and store digital works, especially software-based, and how to make them alive again once they are technically obsolete. And as an author, I started in 1996 in the field of net art / electronic literature. What I'm going to talk about now, it's a work that is quite recent. And let me share the screen. Okay. Okay, so that's the work. It's called Private Property Access Forbidden. Yes, you can see the Google Maps thingy on the screen. So it's very, very simple work, very minimal. It's sort of generative or combinatory. It has a little piece of interaction added to it. And there is also the same work in translation to Hungarian. It's not just translation, it's also a slight adaptation, which was made together with Zsuzsa Szegedi Varga. And I'll come back to this when I will say a few more words about translating electronic literature. But just to guide you a little bit over the work, it's set in 2026 and everything is privatized. That's the main statement. And then the only other well, sort of pointer for the reader interactor, or however is it called, would be click the map to get the location's ownership information and your restrictions. So wherever you would one would click, it would get there are 3 possible states. So it's either access partially allowed, so that would be one of the possible states. There is like to whom the location belongs to. we have this nice human unreadable thingy that's sort of a hash that's used usually for computers to uniquely identify stuff, be it digital or in real world. And there are several restrictions together with latitude and longitude, okay, which is not that important. But basically, wherever one would click, even on the sea. There would be one of these states. Maybe if I can make this bigger, maybe you can read. This is the property of the bank. The access is partially allowed. There is an entrance fee of 750 euro for single visit for one person. There is a 5,000 euro visa requirement. Oh no, sorry. The visa seems to be just requiring that you have at least 5,000 euro in your bank account. Then you must provide a receipt. And there is the sort of environment part of this work. So it gives information about drinkable water accessibility. So in these locations, and in this case, it needs purification. There are sound levels that might be life-threatening without protection. And there is a political touch to it. So days since last armed conflict or incident, it's 1. And of course, in the world we are living in, we cannot go without lawyers. So they got this last statement that you should provide your own security. The owner takes no responsibility for all visits. And these little texts which appear in this like this information window that appears wherever you click, it's generated. It would quickly, one would recognize a pattern, and it would oh, just let me put the link in the chat. Okay, and there's also the Hungarian. I just sent it to the chat. So the part of this work, it's definitely not so even though it's pretty language based, you know, I don't see this work as being significant in terms of what kind of sentences or what is the immediate language content. So I prefer to see that this work to be read in sort of like metadata level. It's not about the text itself, because the text itself has like 0 literal equality. But there is out of these interactions and the text being generated and changed and so on and so forth, it's possible to get like 2 or 3 topics that this work is actually about. So obviously the most prominent topic would be the ownership and how accessible the natural resources are for people. There are like different approaches between countries, like in Slovenia, where I came from. Even there is, the forest is owned privately, or there is a lake or a river, and there may be parts that are owned privately. Everybody has a right to access. And not so much in Hungary. In Hungary, it's like you can own the lake and nobody else is able to use the lake. And you have right to use force and stuff like that if somebody is trespassing. So there is one by this quite utopian, of course, thing that everything is privatized, but which is like basically the final idea of capitalism, right? And there is no commons, right? And I'm trying to point to this with this work, like how important is that there are common, there are some commons, especially when it comes to natural resources, and especially water, the bodies of water, seaside, sea, lakes, and so on and so forth. And there is, of course, also another level to this work, which comes forward mostly when there is this, where access would be partially allowed, but then you would get these restrictions, which are, of course, exaggerated, but deliberately to stress this out, and it's trying to point out to the dangers that climate change might bring, and there's a sort of a gentle call. You know, I don't want to be like one of these activists which are like straight in your face and to glue myself to some, I don't know, art history object. But there is this tendency to actually, you know, paint the world that would the way it can become if nothing is really done about pollution and other issues. So the drinkable water might become scarce, like in this thing that we can see now on the screen. There is actually none, so you should take it with you. Sun levels, maximum protection required, and so on. So there is there are my reading of, I mean, it's, if I can say this for my own work, would be on this level, that basically it's about distinction between private property and commons, and you know, it's slightly pointing towards this these issues of environment. Of course, in the Hungarian version, which is basically the same, with exception that in Hungary there are some additional administrative entities included, and from around the world they are not. There's, of course, there's plenty of opportunity to personalizations like this on the state levels, because like different states would have different issues. But so far I just had the opportunity to venture into this sort of international. That's why I'm using English, and I venture into this Hungarian environment together with Zsuzsa Segedi Varga. That was the source of translation and adaptation of slight adaptation of the work, and talking about this. It's and this topic of translation of electronic literature, it's very close to me, since I came from Slovenia. Slovenia has its own language. It's called Slovenian. It's like slightly special in grammatical terms that it has dual. So it has not just singular and plural, it also contains dual, like grammatical form for two people or objects, which a lot of languages used to have, but now it's not so common. There is like probably the biggest language having it, it's Arabic, but it's mostly absent, especially from like English, has like almost zero remains of dual, but also Hungarian, and that will came slightly more important a bit later on. And yes, being a member of a nation which has only which has about 2 million people and slightly more speakers, it's for me it's essential to go to resort to English, which is not my native language. It's probably quite obvious. But that's my way to communicate with other people and actually to meet somebody else interested in electronic literature. There's really not a lot of it otherwise in Slovenia. So I came to these questions of translation very early. I made my first big work in 1997, and it's a it's language-based piece of interactive poetry, online interactive poetry. And of course, because in Slovenia I would have like 3 people in my audience, I decided to translate it in English and find out that there are certain things that I can do and certain things that I cannot do, or it's not just about, and that's my main point, that translating such works, it's not just translating the language part, it's not just the translation of the language, but it also involves a little bit of adaptation in programming, like maybe not in the work that we are seeing on the screen right now, but as I was mentioning, grammatical form for dual, which is not present in English. It's important to, and if you're making a work that's it's generating language, right? And you want it, look, sometimes you would like this language to be grammatically correct and make sense and would be nice in any way possible and as close to the book language or formal language as possible. So in this case, it's not enough just to translate stuff, but sometimes you actually have to add some functions that would take care about the number of things that are being discussed. So you can make correct grammatical structures. Okay, in English, that's pretty easy. English is grammatically very simple. Like Slovenian has a lot of cases. We have 6 cases, we use them a lot. We can put words into sentences in any order we like, and we would still completely understand without a single second of a doubt what somebody is talking about. And in English, of course, the word order is pretty much fixed. I mean, you can play a little bit with it in like poetic texts, but change order words and nobody will know what you're talking about. So these are the little things, and if I can point you towards, this is the code behind the work. Okay, maybe I should rather go to the English one. So there's this typical HTML and CSS stuff, which is all put into into one file, and that's basically where the project happens. It's this JavaScript, which is here. It's using Google Maps API, and the thing that we have, which has the language part, it looks like there are like these little chunks that would come into sentences, so entrance fee, that always, and then there's this function that takes argument and return a random one. So these are possible values for the entrance fee. And there are these little chunks inside these 2 things that I cannot recall how they are called right now. but you can see the point. And there are these little chunks of things. And also the owners can be different. There's more on the right side, but just to get an idea of how this looks like in the background. And there's the Hungarian version. And of course, for the most part, it was enough to just translate, to just go through the code and translate. Okay, these are the owners in Hungarian. But then since there was like this slight adaptation, which in this case it's not grammatical, but it's actually relates to the content. So it might, when you click in the location of Hungary, you can get some other possible owners, which make a lot of sense in the context of Hungarian society, which I will not delve into it. I would just ask you to trust me on that. And then, for example, this is not this part of the code here. It's something that it's not present in the original part, but it just, if it tries, there is a little bit of interaction with Google Maps API that actually decides, it tells the code which country the user was clicking on. So if you click on the C, you don't get information of the state. So you have to take care of that. So if somebody clicks on the C, it's not Hungarian, definitely not. They don't have the C. So if somebody clicked in Hungary, there are some other possible owners pushed into the list of owners. And so on and so forth. So why I'm showing this? I'm just showing this as a slight example how translation in electronic literature. I mean, of course, the electronic literature has a variety of possibilities, and one of them is to heavily use the underlying possibility of computation, which is my approach. I really like this approach. I take the underlying code as expressive as the other elements, visual and textual, and audible if they are present. And I'm just trying to point out that the translation in this case, sometimes translation of electronic literature, usually in cases like when the computation is involved, also involves a little bit of translation in the code itself, if I can put it that way. Okay, with that, I will stop my screen sharing and would allow this 5 more minutes for questions, if there are any.
Thank you very much. So we have, about 5 or 6 minutes for questions, and I see a lot of comments going on in the chat. So I see that Maria has asked, how do you get the interaction with the translation?
How to get
it? Want to expand?
Well, it's there are 2 instances of this work. One is in English, one is in Hungarian. So the Hungarian one has an additional part of the code which detects if somebody's clicked inside Hungary or not. And if somebody clicked inside of the Hungary, there is some additional possible owners of the place are added to the list of owners. Otherwise, it's the same as in English. This makes a lot of sense in culturally. but I don't have time to go into these details about why that's significant for the Hungarian version, but it is significant.
Okay, great. She's also asked where the information is gathered from.
It's made up. It's a fiction. It's a work of fiction. So basically, even if you would click on this exactly the same pixel on the map, you would get two different texts out. So it has the relation to reality. It's metaphorical. So the work is trying to put out this issue of ownership and climate change, but the text itself is generated every time. That's no AI used. It's plain old school.
So you have like a database then that is gathering it from?
No database. It's basically just really very simple old school combinatory language thing. Yes, you should not take this information seriously.
Christine?
I was wondering about that, why you chose to make it fictional rather than, I mean, maybe it's just not possible to actually get this kind of information from the map about who owns, what pieces of land. Is that why you made it fictional? Or would you, I mean, in an ideal world, would it have been?
No, yes, thank you for the question. We went to the same school, right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Very nice to see you again.
Yes.
Yes, no, actually I wanted to make a fictional work. I deliberately, I mean, it's possible to grab different APIs and compile actual data. That's not such a big problem. And also Google Maps are full of informations. But I wanted to make a fictional utopian work where I just tried to took this idea of climate change and capitalism trying to own everything and everybody to their extreme. So I came up with this extreme version of where the capitalism can go if we just let him or let it, or if we let the market do whatever it wants. In sort of a warning kind of a way was my intention.
Thank you.
Great. 2 more minutes. Any other questions? Annie has asked in the chat, do you present this project outside of ELIT? And if so, how do you present it?
Oh, well, I actually, that's an interesting thing. This work was actually sort of commissioned by an organization which is organizing otherwise a theater festival for many years, and they wanted to slightly expand their activities into other areas, that are slightly more digital than they are used to, because they are very stage-based. But I mostly present this work in the art context, because I noticed that electronic literature, at least for me, it's much more presentable in gallery space than in like literary spaces, because literary spaces in Slovenia are actively pushing this away, because it's, I don't know, computers and texts, they are like book lovers. I mean, it's all fine. I love books also, but I also like to do electronic literature. So yes, and it was interesting, interesting to introduce this to the audience, which was like not in their first line of medium. But experience was very nice, because I think the main ideas went well. They were conveyed quite beautifully, so I was quite happy with this.
Grand. Well, thank you very much. This was a fascinating talk, and it was fascinating to see what you've done with the work, and just based in straightforward HTML and CSS and JavaScript, and it's as we noted in the chat, it looks like you can see just about everything from view source, so that if anyone wants to have a look at how you did some of those things, it's a fascinating examination. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.